But is the island, that's not up for sale?
Well, they said that it's not up for sale, but, you know, this is where the art of the deal comes in, Aaron. You're right. Denmark has been miffed because they send about $600 million in subsidies to Greenland every year. That's a significant chunk of change. And Donald Trump has reportedly heard, you know, at least in some informal conversations, that, you know, maybe they might be open up to a negotiation. So that's where this story comes in.
Yeah, it is. It's just an absolute cracker. Okay, let me ask it, but it's not, we laugh, it's not unprecedented in some ways. I mean, the US bought the Danish West Indies in 1917. I didn't know that. They now call those the US Virgin Islands. And President Truman in 1946 offered to buy Greenland for $100 million. That was rebuffed. So it's not completely out of the realms of being unthinkable.
It's not entirely far-fetched. You're right. The United States, there were two instances where they expressed interest in Greenland. One was in the 1800s, and then one was actually right after World War II in 1946. I think also a good comparison here is in 1867 when the United States purchased Alaska from the Russians. Yes. That was under the presidents of Andrew Johnson. And so you might laugh at this, but it's an issue.
And you got to, because some people go, well, why would I want to buy Greenland? But strategically and geographically, it's a pretty important piece of land, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there are really two main reasons why the United States is interested in it. One is the huge amount of natural resources. So oil, iron ore, zinc, copper, it's basically got it all.
It's all there, really.
It's a huge abundance of natural resources. And then in terms of the geopolitics, everybody kind of wants a stake in the Arctic. China wants a stake, Russia wants a stake. The United States already has a base in Greenland, and it has radar for kind of U.S. ballistic missile system, early warning systems.
Right.
And so it already has a stake here, and so you could see why it might want to encroach a little bit further.
Yeah. And it is interesting you mentioned China, because I think China wanted to build 3 airports there, and they got rebuffed. But look, I don't know if neither of us knows this answer, but so it's roughly owned. It's a territory of Denmark. So it's owned, but it's autonomous, so the Greenlanders run it. But if Denmark went down the path and said, oh, we might think of selling it, I'm wondering, do the Greenlanders get a say?
I have to say, Aaron, I have absolutely no idea. I think the best way that you could decide this is through its own referendum, because that works so well here in the UK for us.
Well, we had one Greenlander, when told the story, said, oh, please, God, no. That was their answer anyway. Thomas, always a pleasure, my friend. You have a lovely weekend.